Dense woodland through long ages never felled rose from a valley with a wide prospect of sloping pasture. Reaching this wild wood, the heroes spread their nets, unleashed their hounds, and followed the fresh footprints, each intent to find his danger. There was a deep gully, when rain-fed freshets often used to fall, its swampy bottom full of supple willows, soft sedges, marshy flags, and osiers, with rushes rising high above small reeds. Here they put up their quarry. Out he rushed straight at his enemies, like lightning struck when clouds collide. His headlong charge broke down the forest. Sounds of crashing echoed through the shattered wood. The huntsmen gave a shout. Brave hands held spears thrust forward, their broad points glinting. On rushed the boar, scattering the hounds that faced his fury, striking as they bayed, swift slanting strokes and tossing them aside. The first spear thrown, hurled by Echion's hand, missed him and lightly grazed a maple trunk. The next, aimed at his back by Jason, must have lodged there had his throw not been too strong. It overshot. Then Phoebus, Mopsus cried, "If I have been and am thy worshipper, grant that my spear fail not to find its mark." His prayer, so far as Phoebus had the power, was granted. The spear struck, but made no wound. There in mid-flight Diana stole the steel. The wooden shaft arrived without its point. Now the boar's anger flashed like lightning. Flames blazed from his eyes. Flames issued from his throat. And as a ball flies from a catapult aiming at walls and towers packed with troops, so, devastating, irresistible, the beast charged those young men. Eupalamon and Pelagon, who guarded the right flank, he laid prostrate, and as they lay, their friends dragged them away. But yet Onesimus, son of Hippocoon, could not escape the fatal blow. The sinews of his knees were severed, and his leg muscles collapsed. And Nestor might perhaps have perished too before the time of Troy, had he not leapt, vaulting on his long spear, into a tree that stood at hand, and there in safety gazed down on the enemy that he'd escaped. Whetting his tusks on the oak's trunk, the brute raged high for havoc. Sure of his new-honed weapons, his curving snout ripped through the thigh of mighty Hippasus. But now the twins, not stars of heaven as yet, came cantering up, both brothers striking, both on snow-white steeds, and both poised quivering spears with flashing points. They would have wounded him had not the boar, the bristling brute, reached the dense woodland trees where neither spear nor horse could penetrate. Telamon followed, careless, all too keen, and tripping on a forest root fell flat. As Peleus picked him up, the Tegean girl set a swift arrow to her string and shot from her bent bow. Just grazing the beast's back, the shaft lodged fast below his ear, and blood, a bloody trickle, dyed his bristles red. Yet she was not more glad of her success than Meleager. He, it's thought, was first to see the blood and first to point it out to his companions, shouting, "Bravely done, all praise for manly prowess." The men flushed, all urged each other on, their courage raised with shouts and cries, and hurled their spears unplanned, a self-defeating stream that blocked its blows. But look, the Arcadian with his double axe, raging for doom beyond his destiny, cried, "Learn how far the weapons of a man surpass a girl's, and leave this task to me." Even though Diana shields him from the blow, despite Diana, mine shall lay him low. Such was Anchius's braggart brazen boast, and raising in both hands his double axe, he balanced on his feet and stood tiptoe, brave and bold, But the beast struck first and plunged both tusks high in his groin, the shortest road to death, and down he fell, and disemboweled, his guts gushed out and soaked the ground with gore. Pirithous, Ixion's son, strode out to meet the foe, but Theseus cried, "Hold back, twin soul of mine, life dearer than my own. Brave men may keep their distance." His rash heart destroyed Anchius's. As he spoke, he hurled his heavy cornel spear with point of bronze, well aimed and bound to reach its mark, had not a leafy branch of chestnut blocked its flight. And Jason threw his javelin, but luck waylaid it, and it doomed an innocent hound, pierced through the flank and pinned fast to the ground. Now it was miss and hit for Meleager. 2 spears he sped. The first stood in the earth, the second fair and square in the boar's back. He roared, he raged, he twisted round and round, slavering blood afresh and hissing foam, and in a trice the wielder of the wound was on his foe, and baiting him to fight, deep through his shoulder sank his shining blade. All shout their joy with cheers of victory, and crowd to clasp the victor's hand, and gaze in awe and wonder at the monstrous brute that lies there at such length, still half afraid to touch him, but each hero bloods his blade. Then Meleager, one foot placed upon that head of doom and death, said, "Take the prize that's mine to give, fair girl of Arcady, and share the glory of the day with me." And there and then gave her the spoils, the skin barbed with stiff bristles, and the head, that head so striking with its 2 enormous tusks. The gift delighted her, the giver too. The rest were jealous, and among them all a murmur rose. And Theseus's 2 sons shouted with angry gestures, "Put them down, woman, and don't usurp the right that's ours. Don't be deluded by your lovely looks, in case your doting donor lets you down." They took the gift from her, the right to give from him. The son of Mars, outraged beyond endurance, bursting in anger, shouted, "Learn, you robbers of another's rights, how deeds differ from threats." And as Plexippus stood, suspecting nothing, plunged his wicked sword deep in his heart. And Toxius too, in doubt, eager for vengeance, but afraid to share his brother's fate, soon found his doubt dispelled, as Meleager, while his blade was warm with that first murder, made it warm once more with double murder and a brother's gore.